We probably solved the mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance just 3 years after she went missing. But because one doctor thought her bones looked manly, we'll probably never know for sure. Amelia Earhart is undoubtedly one of the most famous pilots of all time, thanks to her knack for headline-grabbing feats and for breaking down barriers for women aviators everywhere. And on June 1st of 1937, Earhart kicked off what was to be her greatest adventure yet, circumnavigating the globe in her twin-engine Lockheed Electra with her navigator Fred Noonan at her side. By July 2nd, they'd made a great deal of progress, and that morning, Earhart and Noonan took off from New Guinea to begin a 2,500-mile leg of their journey, set to end with them landing on Howland Island in the Central Pacific. But they never made it. Her final radio transmissions made it clear that they were lost and running low on fuel, and after the radio went silent, Earhart and Noonan just vanished, never to be seen again. Or maybe not to be seen for about 3 more years, anyway. In 1940, a British expedition landed on Nikomaroro Island, which is about 400 miles south of Howland Island, and along the same heading that Earhart said she was on, searching for Howland Island in her final transmission. On that island, they found the remains of a campsite that included what was left of a campfire, a human skull and 13 other bones, a man's shoe, a woman's shoe, a box for a Brandis naval sextant for navigation, and another box that used to have a bottle of Benedictine herbal liquor in it, which Earhart was known to drink. Now, these bones looked small enough to belong to a woman, and the team was acutely aware that they may have just solved the mystery of Amelia Earhart's disappearance. So they carefully gathered up the bones and shipped them off to Fiji's Central Medical School for analysis, and they ultimately ended up in the hands of a doctor named D.W. Hoodless. Now, it's important to know that forensic osteology, or the study of human bones for forensic science, was still very much in its infancy at this point, and Hoodless effectively measured the bones, jotted down some notes, and decided that they didn't look dainty enough to belong to a woman, and instead probably belonged to a man who just so happened to be a 5'5" or so in height. Now, Earhart was 5'8", and anything but dainty. But because Hoodless thought these bones couldn't belong to a lady, they were discarded. Now, just a few years ago, a team out of the University of Tennessee decided to take another crack at it. But because these bones were lost, all they had to go off of was Hoodless's notes and measurements. But they also had the benefit of decades worth of advancements in forensic osteology, as well as a massive database of bone measurements. And wouldn't you know it, when they put in Hoodless's own data, it came back as a 99% match for Amelia Earhart.
I think we found her. I think the bones are hers.
In other words, it is exceedingly likely that Earhart ultimately made it to Nikomaroro Island, and tragic as it may sound, she was likely eaten by coconut crabs, either before or after she died. But as tragic as that is, we should remember that Earhart's legacy as a daring and adventurous pilot and groundbreaking woman aviator will live on regardless of her final resting place.